With Rabbi Gordon, what you saw in public, you got in private.
He didn't fool anybody. This was the real deal.
Young, old, very affiliated, not affiliated, they all love Josh. You know why? Because Josh loved them.
I would say on his card should be written, Rabbi Gordon, Mensch.
The Rebbe was really not about creating followers for himself. He was about creating leaders in carrying the light of Torah, of Yiddishkeit, Judaism, to people around the world.
I have had connection with Chabad of the Valley and many of the individual Chabad rabbis for decades. And interestingly, I didn't know anything about Chabad growing up, and I grew up Orthodox. I came out here and I started to know Chabad. And it has been, of course, a love affair. I hope it's mutual, but it certainly is for me.
From the very first time I met him, I had great respect for him. And we developed a friendship over the years.
Rabbi Josh Gordon was a close friend. He was also a unique shliach, with his knowledge, with his care, with his devotion, with his stories, with his teachings. He was a legend.
Through the leadership of Rabbi Gordon, he transformed the San Fernando Valley from a desert, a Jewish desert, into a kind of Gan Eden.
His outreach work through establishing 26 Chabad houses was amazing.
Rabbi Gordon was the essential shliach of the Rebbe, bringing the love, inspiration of Yiddishkeit to people no matter what their affiliation, or even if they had no affiliation, because he didn't care about where you came from. He cared about where you could go.
And he related to people, Reform, conservative, agnostic, secular, students. Doesn't make a difference.
The grandchildren in the pool, the governor of California, the greatest philanthropist, and the old lady who needed her mezuzah check. All of these people were equally important.
I think that both of us believed you do not give up on any Jew.
You know, Rabbi Gordon was a supporter of our work here in Washington on many levels.
He would come to Washington as part of some of the days that Rabbi Levi Shem Tov would organize.
When we had the Congressional Gold Medal awarded to the Rebbe, he brought an entire delegation.
I met him briefly in those days, and it was an honor. I'm glad I did. His life was shorter than any of us would have wanted it to be, but Rabbi Gordon accomplished an enormous amount.
He died young. He had much left to accomplish. He was a giant, so his shoes, it's very hard to fulfill a person like that. You can't just step into them.
None of us will ever know why Hashem, why the Almighty Lord, had to take back Josh before we felt he was done. But God has his plans.
But it was a shock because of his vibrance. The truly vibrant do have a sense, they convey a sense of sort of immortality. It's just, you just don't imagine that you will experience life without them.
Oh, it was a great, great loss to Klal Yisrael.
I have been around the world and I've been to 115 countries. I have tried to visit Chabads wherever they exist. Having said that, there was this dynamism, this extra dimension of joy that permeated the Chabads of the Valley generally that I have experienced.
Rabbi Gordon achieved such remarkable, visible success in the San Fernando Valley that it was my impression that people within Chabad knew about it and wanted to talk to him.
Rabbis around the world, Chabad rabbis, would look to him for wisdom.
Not only because he was a success at building Chabad in the San Fernando Valley, but because he was a generous and wise mentor to people all over the world.
Josh Gordon was beloved and known, respected, admired, imitated by so many colleagues of ours throughout the world. And I have to say, on a personal level, he got me to do things I thought I couldn't do, things that were new, things that were ambitious. But when he created the necessity and laid it before you, you saw how easy and necessary it was, and you just did it.
Rabbi Gordon records lessons in Torah, and they then are available to tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands on the internet. So his impact was really quite extraordinary.
The daily class on Torah, on Rambam, complete the entire cycle, so it's now there in perpetuity for anyone to just tune in from the comfort of their own home.
He was a gifted teacher and orator, and those are gifts that the internet allowed a lot of people to benefit from, to receive.
It's mind-blowing that he could do as much as he did locally and then do that internationally.
There's an old joke that Al Gore invented the internet. Of course, I'm a big admirer of Al Gore's. But whether he invented the internet or not, the internet was invented for Chabad.
His teaching and his model and what he created, all these Chabad houses and all these students.
I'm sure the people that he inspired and motivated, that generations of people will come out of that.
Rabbi Josh Gordon's legacy, his shlichus of the Rebbe, which grew into such a beautiful enterprise throughout the valley, will continue to grow and grow until the time when we will all have fulfilled our shlichus, and we will be with the Rebbe and Rabbi Josh Gordon together. We'll be inspired again, and hopefully after that we will know only joy.